How we doing, guys? Hope everyone's well. Obviously, again, we've had a load of trouble trying to put this one together. This is the fourth channel that we've had to use now after our original channel has had a strike and we can't go live anymore. And we're just going to keep this show nice and short, be about an hour long, and that's about it. Discussing what's happened last night. Everyone's aware of what's happened. It's been a bit of a kicker, really. So, yeah, let's just kick it off. Ralph, what's your thoughts on the last 24 hours?
Oh, thanks. How you guys doing? Thanks for having me on, Dan. Zach. And good to see you, Bill. Good to see you looking healthy. So we kind of knew this was coming. We just didn't know when. Yeah. I don't think a lot of us could anticipate how quickly things like this would go into effect. It shows a lot of cards. It shows us exactly a direction that is intended. And I actually think it's kind of a good thing in a way, because with it happening so quickly, and I'm looking at alternative places, I won't mention their names right now. People that are intelligent enough will know what I'm talking about. The amount of congregation that is going to these alternative places is incredible. It's incredible. People are not stupid. It begets to me to wonder why certain companies think that people are as dumb as they think they are, or that people's lives are just suddenly going to stop, you know, because you've stopped giving them that ability to share information on a certain road.
Yeah.
Most of us all know how to find a map and look at it and figure another path. And that's what's happening right now.
Well,
so in a sense, I think this is a good thing.
Yeah, it can. You've got to take the positives out of everything. Everything that happens, we have to take the positives and grab at them. I mean, they've attacked Parler pretty bad. It's been removed now from the Google Play Store. Katie, that's a fault, actually. Can you put the APK link into the description, please? So we found a link for an APK. So if you are on an Android device, you can still get Parler onto your phone by following the link to the APK, rather, because obviously it's not on the Google Store anymore. I believe Apple's going to remove it as well. I did hear rumours that Apple have removed it, but this APK will work for Apple as well.
Well, it didn't work. It didn't work out for them, because once they said that, I've seen a massive influx to Parler, and if, I don't know if you people use Telegram. Telegram had a massive surge last night as well. So yeah, it is good. I've been watching just even just normal people on Twitter lost. If they've had like 20,000 followers, they lost on average like 2,000 followers last night.
Yeah,
Twitter it's done. So I would advise everybody, if you still use those, they won't. Zach, you know me. I'm not allowed to use any of their platforms. They deplatformed me years ago across all platforms. But if you don't give them, why do you want to go on there and speak and walk on eggshells and not speak your own mind? What's the point of being on them?
Exactly.
Same as if you've been watching I surmise everybody uses WhatsApp with the size of the numbers, but them just put through new terms and conditions that they're forcing people you have to agree with to give all the information to Facebook or leave the platform. So everybody needs to get off there as well. Why you want to give Zuckerberg your IP address?
Well, that's it. Parler is the new Twitter, and Telegram is the new WhatsApp, isn't it? Really, and we do need to move off them. I know Telegram servers, they're pretty much safe. Parler servers, I don't know whether they are completely safe in terms of being taken down.
Their boss said last night, if they take the servers, and that's pretty much then done.
Yeah, it is then done. So they need to work now on moving their servers to a more secure location, like Telegram has.
I think they should get in touch with the Telegram boss.
Exactly.
The Telegram boss pretty much came out and said, I don't give a fuck what they're saying. Telegram's going ahead, and they've made 500 million people on there now.
Yeah,
I think that Telegram's the future for normal people.
and this for me, this is the way that we can attack back. So the way we attack back is by us all coming off them platforms. It's no good leaving your account on there dormant, because that still counts as an account on there. If we all did deactivate our accounts and move away from them onto these other platforms, what that does then is to their advertisers, they're like, well, we're not reaching as many people anymore. We're going to lose revenue. The advertisers are going to stop putting all the money in. That's how we hurt.
It's the same as anything. It's the same as government.
Yeah.
Them need us. We don't need them. But they put you in a frame of mind where you believe that you need them.
Yeah, we need some drastic changes to come in. Bill, what's your thoughts, bro?
Concerning the the mass banning that's happening.
Yeah.
To me, honestly, it just kind of genuinely feels like a distraction. To me, I hate to be the doom and gloom, but I think the big issue at hand here is what the president appears to have done by telling us to fight to the end and giving us hope until almost the bitter end. And even, with my own ears, I heard him say, we're about to march to the Capitol. I'll never concede. This was an illegal election. Specifically, I remember him saying that there were like 260,000 votes beyond in the state of Pennsylvania alone than they actually had registered voters. I mean, if you have obvious fraud like that and you still decide to roll over, then you essentially have forsaken your oath to the Constitution concerning the United States, and therefore you have single-handedly helped destroy our republic and our democracy. That's all I'm really focused on. The Twitter.
On that point of, we all know there's been voter fraud. We've all seen it. We've seen all the videos. Obviously, the mainstream media is not putting this out anywhere. We've all seen all the evidence. It's one thing having the evidence. The other thing is getting it heard, getting it listened to, and getting it acted upon. And that is what seems to be the brick wall that Trump has hit and his legal team have hit. They're not willing to listen to it.
Noble's in the back room, mate. Noble's trying to get in.
But
Katie, can we get Noble Beard on, please?
So
yeah, hang on. How we doing, brother?
What's up, bros? How y'all doing?
Hey, brother.
Man,
We're good.
Been listening backstage here. This is interesting, man. What they're doing, and something to echo what Bill just said, man. He hit the nail on the head with that. We feel like President Trump just kind of like abandoned it, man. Like he set fire to the Capitol and then left us to deal with the charred remains. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
condemned us. Sorry.
And then you're right, dude. You're 100% right. He condemned it afterwards. You know what I mean? Like, dude, you set that up. You know what I mean? Like, sure, he didn't come out and say, "Hey, go down there and fuck up the Capitol building." You know what I mean? Like that wasn't what he said. But the fact that he, the fact that he decided to condemn it afterwards, you know what I mean? Like the most patriotic act I've ever witnessed in my life happened when we stormed the Capitol up there, and patriots tried to take our country back. Unfortunately, the act was all for nothing because they relinquished the ground they had taken, and it wasn't done right. It wasn't organized. It wasn't, you know what I mean? Like if you're gonna overthrow a sitting government, that's not how you do it. You know what I mean? Like you don't just rush up there unarmed, and you know what I mean? I'm not advocating for FBI if you're listening. I'm not advocating for anybody to go out armed. It's all in Minecraft. If we're talking about Minecraft here. But yeah, if and then like it was like a snowball effect. You know what I mean? It was almost like I almost feel like they wanted us to do it.
They did.
I don't. Yeah. I don't believe all these theories.
You watched the videos, haven't you, of the police actually opening the doors and
Yeah. See what I think happened there, and I've analyzed a lot of that video, and I was watching real time. So there's some misconceptions out there. There's one video with this cop where the people were starting to go through the barriers, and this cop is running up and waving people. Right? He wasn't waving people, the rioters in. He was waving for other cops to come up and help him. He was saying, "Hey, we're overrun. Get up here." But of course,
wasn't police also sent away saying you're not needed and sent away from there?
I did not witness any of that. I haven't heard any of that. But
I believe it was a French reporter that actually interviewed them as they were coming away and saying, like, "Why are you coming away?" When you got that mob there, and they said they were ordered to move away. I haven't seen the video myself. I've only been told about it, so that's something I've got to find. And
there's a very interesting video going about the day. A lieutenant general in the Capitol building talking about Nancy Pelosi's laptop going missing. Do you know that?
I saw that.
Yes.
I'm at the point where I'm not buying any more conspiracies. I'm not buying any more, trust the plan 4D chess. I'm just not buying it, man. Q has been a pacifier for people for the last 4 years. And I think, honestly, it was a left-wing tactic. Let's give them all these little tidbits of information and keep them relaxed and keep them quiet. And so that they just let their guard down, and then, boom, hit them with the election fraud, and we'll hit them with the stolen election, and there's nothing they can do about it. So, I don't believe a lot of these conspiracy theories, especially about the police. Though I did see one video of them opening the door eventually. I think what they were trying to do was mitigate damage to the building at that point. They had already been overrun. People were already in there. They were, there was no stopping them. So they were like, listen, if we let them in, we'll be nice. They'll probably won't destroy things because they know who we are. They know who the Patriots are. We're not there to destroy the building and burn it down. We were there to express, to take the Senate floor and express our displeasure with the current election and what they did and the fact that they were about to certify it. So I think, unfortunately, a lot of there's so much misinformation out there. People, you got to be, just stop thinking in all these, think critical, think reality, and don't think in all these, big crazy conspiracy theories, because they're not there. You know what I mean?
That's one thing that I've always said. I've never really followed the Q movement. I've never got into it at all. From what I've seen of it, I thought you're just putting out cryptic bullshit. And basically, when something happens, you're then saying, "Well, look, we told you back here."
Yeah.
Well, no, you didn't. You just put out cryptic stuff, and you might have things that can link back to a little part of what you said, and then that's why I always.
It's like trying to figure out what your woman was saying through text message. You know what I mean? It really is. It's like, what is she talking about? You know what I mean? Like,
see, I actually followed Q for a while because obviously, like, they did stuff with the children's side of things, and that's what I'm a big advocate for. And my opinion of it was always kind of, well, they'll tell you the truth about some things, so that obviously you can trust them. So they give you the breadcrumbs that you need, to build up that trust and that relationship. But when it comes to preventing stuff from actually happening, there's never anything really beforehand. If they know when this is going to happen and they know the clues, the telltale signs that show them that something's going to happen, then surely they'd be pushing it. Then when they saw the telltale signs, they'd be pushing that information, like, be aware now, be cautious of your surroundings and everything like that. But
it was a pacifier.
After.
Yeah, it was just a pacifier, and so many people bought it. I'm literally having to. There's actually literally people on my Parler page right now talking about how Ashley Babbitt wasn't really killed, and I'm like, so I immediately, and I just put a post about it, and I was like, I swear to God, I will delete and block every single fucking one of you that comes in here and disrespects that woman's memory. She gave her life for this movement. She gave her life for that Capitol building that day. And these idiots are out there saying, "Oh, she's Antifa," or "Oh, she's an actor, a crisis actor." No, she got shot on camera. There's multiple different angles.
Watching that, because fellow Air Force, like that fucking broke me. That did, because at the end of the day, you could see that someone else broke that window. that copper was holding that gun out for a good few seconds and took steps in, and you could hear everything, but you couldn't hear someone saying, "You will get shot. You need to stand down. You will get hurt. I will fire." You don't hear any of that. You just see someone tucked away in a corner, the furthest side away.
Like a coward.
Through a glass window, you're going to be concentrating on your direct observations with the glass around you, with climbing up something, climbing over stuff, and people being behind you. It's only going to be your direct, observations that you're going to be paying attention to at that time. So to get her from there was a complete and utter blind spot.
Yeah, that cop should hang, by the way.
Yeah.
He should be hung by his balls on the Capitol steps.
Yeah.
Oh, let's look at where we stand now, because of all of these things, and regardless of what's real, what happened particularly at this section or that section of the Capitol during the storming, like they're all diversions from what we're like currently dealing with. Basically, just by the rules that were, just the way that the Patriot Act was enacted, that was set up for taking on terrorism in large part. And now, Biden is adamant that it used to feel exclusive to the Proud Boys, but now it's exclusive to anyone who is considered a patriot. That's what we're really dealing with right now. Twitter, Parler, all of that. It's all distractions.
It's a tool, though, isn't it? It's a tool where we can communicate. We would not have found each other if it wasn't for these tools that are at our disposal. So in that way,
without question, yeah. Agreed. And it looks as if they've gone like electric hot on removing people, and they started like immediately. This shit all began, the moment after the 6th, and it was
almost planned. It was almost like it was planned.
It's white hot.
Just to quickly jump in, because a couple of people are saying about not being patriots, but what people need to understand is everyone on this stream talking now is talking because something's happened to a patriot that's cost them their life. A lot of people have been standing up and fighting for their country, for their morals, for what they believe in for so long. And it's resorted to a veteran losing her life when it should never have come down to that. What people are seeing now isn't a lack of patriotism. It's emotion, it's hurt, and it's disgust that the state has allowed this to happen.
Of course it is.
In such a way as well. If anything,
it's
seeing this as a negative, this
show is not a negative. We're trying to work out where we move from, where we go from here, because we're never going to stop. That's one thing I know 100% in my heart, that none of us are ever going to stop. We got always going to push forward, and we've been the one constant thing for everything. The people, it's the patriotic people that have been the one constant thing throughout history. They're the one constant thing.
It's us losing our lives. It's us losing our kids. It's us losing our homes over our heads, and all because we want a better future for our kids, so that they have a better life than what we do in a world that's just.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, is this being streamed on YouTube? I read something where you guys got like a strike or something.
Yeah, we got a strike on our own channel, and on the proper channel we got a strike, so we're having to borrow this channel for tonight.
Oh, okay, well, send me a link to it, because I didn't even get a link, so I couldn't share it out on my Parler to get more people.
I thought I sent it you.
Yeah, you can put it. Yeah, if you just put it in there, I'll share it out on Parler. Because I apologize for being late. I took something earlier because my stomach is still hurting a bunch, and I took a little bit of a nap, trying to recover, and then I got Bill calling me.
You've got it, bro. You've got the link now.
I didn't worry about me. I'm late on every show. Now I'm supposed to fucking host it.
That was left blind.
All right, there it is.
So then, moving forward, where do we go? What do we do? How do we push forward?
Perfect question, Zach.
We need.
And it goes back to what we discussed at the beginning of finding these alternative maps, right? These alternative roadways for our voices to be carried. We can all sit here like we're in a room, right? And let's just say it was the 6 of us having a conversation. But if we don't leave the room and have that conversation with other people, you can't share the knowledge and wisdom that was gathered among us, right?
Yeah.
So, Bill, Noble, you guys, I agree with you on a lot of things. Here's a big positive, though. A huge positive in my book to take from 4 years. From 4 years. I've never seen patriotism any higher than it is right now.
Yeah.
Okay? In 4 years, not that everybody woke up, because there's always going to be people that want to take Valium and stay asleep. Okay? You're not going to stop that. But the amount of people that started switching on, to me, is phenomenal. Are we in a dark time right now? Yes. Can we, as lovers of our countries, get through the dark and bring it back to light? I truly believe we can.
Yeah,
We
I do
need
as
to be
well.
intelligent about it. We need to be calm and focused about it. And just like you were saying about all the misinformation that's out there, yes, it's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting how many different takes there is on one particular subject right now. It's horrible. And I think all of that's deliberate too. I really do. I think they deliberately want to keep people confused.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
How do you stop that confusion? Well, I think you got to start listening to your own heart and soul. If there's a voice inside of you telling you this is wrong, this can't be right, then I think you need to listen to that voice and check it out, right?
Well, I think again,
A little homework.
from
People
what
have
they've
gotten
done,
lazy. Very lazy.
I think people are going to start seeing, more people will start seeing now, from what they've just done to Donald Trump and his team, people will start seeing that people that weren't switched on, and they're going to think that's wrong. What you're doing there is wrong. You are stifling free speech, and people will see that and they'll start jumping on board with us. It always happens.
See, I've got my friend who was here earlier. He's quite asleep to this side of things. Obviously, he's awake to the forced adoption stuff because that's the cause that he's from. But when I was talking to him earlier, that this conversation about what happened yesterday actually came up, and he's actually changed his mind. He actually saw that he was being, deplatformed and everything before any of this. And, he was like a kind of a silent supporter. He didn't go out on the streets, bragging about it. But, he had emphasis with him. He'd seen him throughout childhood on different shows that he'd done and whatnot. But after that incident where obviously the lady got shot and everything, like, his mindset's gone reverse now. He doesn't want to hear anything about it. He wants to wash his hands of it completely because he saw it as Trump was the reason why everyone went and did that and why someone lost their life. So I can see it from both sides. Me personally, I don't know how I feel about Trump now.
You see, in Trump's speech that he done, and we spoke about this earlier, Bill, today. It might have been last night. I can't remember when it was. I hardly fucking slept.
Were you drunk?
But it was. I took it differently because I didn't hear him mention, when he says a smooth handover to the next administration, he didn't mention Biden. He didn't mention anything to do with the next administration. Not only that, he also ended it with, "This is just the beginning."
Right, but these are all speculations, and these
I know
are
it's speculation, and I'm grabbing again, like I said,
for straws,
positives. Who's that? Aye.
I didn't even have to let him in. He let himself in. Hiya.
Aye.
Hello. Can you hear me?
How you doing, brother?
We can't see you, Danny. We can't see you.
I've had to sit in the car, so it's the best I can do at the minute. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah.
See you to see the It's echoing a bit at my end. Yeah, sorry, kids are still awake. Yeah, hello everyone. How's everyone doing? Everyone good?
Yes, sir.
Well, how are you?
Yeah, we're all good. All good. I've just been listening to you guys, and it's all I can say. It's a crazy time to be an American right now. Seriously, what we're witnessing is there's so many different sides to what we're seeing. There's a social media warfare that is just becoming a law and order of itself. I mean, to think 5 years ago to say that social media would be the ones that give you the ability to see or hear things from certain people around the world, including the president. I mean, if the president can't stay on these platforms, Tommy and everyone else, we haven't got a chance really, have we? So I think the quicker we realise that and we move away from that and try and build something, like that, I think it'd be the quickest way of dealing with this, because it's just going downhill so fast and so quickly. I'm absolutely amazed that they're getting away with it. And it just shows that actually as a president, you haven't got that much power. No. Really. You haven't. Right. Yes, you can send in the troops. Yes, you can do it. But when it comes to your home ground, the Senate, everything that's going on, it's proven that he hasn't got a lot of power really at home.
No.
Crazy.
I say screw the social media warfare. Let's just have real warfare. Let's just get it on.
I'm ready for that.
I think a lot of people are starting to get to that point now. They're starting to feel like that.
Let's just get it on, man.
Guys, from the perspective of like the constitutional process, and going back to where I was saying, where Trump said that there were like 200, and don't quote me on the numbers, those analysts watching, but it's something that like impressive, like 260,000 votes, more votes than there were registered votes. So as the president, and as you put your hand on the Bible and you raise your hand and give your oath to swear to uphold and defend that Constitution, and if you are genuinely for the people as the movement that you have awoken, because the movement is 100% real, and I'll get into that, but and you let it fold, then we can't really say at that point, look at what they've done to the president. They've given him, he has run out of options. I don't think we can really look at it as what they've done to him, but if he was real, and then he would, someone mentioned bringing in military troops, then he would have invoked the Insurrection Act. I had a state senator walk up to me while I was in the crowd doing what my team was doing. And she's a great senator. She's a Virginia state senator. Her name's Amanda Chase. She remembered me from VCDL day last year. But yeah, it was really cool. I got it all on my body cam too. It was surreal as shit, dude. She had all these monster security team with her. Obviously the state pays for them, and they're all just chilling. And she walks up to me and she's like, "Hi," and I'm like, "Yeah, you're Amanda Chase." And it was surreal. My body cam was going the whole time. Anyway, I forgot what I was talking about now. Sorry. But I know that I can say this. We've got to start putting a little more, we've got to start giving a little more responsibility to Donald Trump. We've got to start looking at things like very basically what it is. And what the situation genuinely is not only Proud Boys, but anyone who is considered a patriot, which would be like a conservative even, or how about even just identifying as a Republican. You are now becoming the enemy to the state potentially, and when you try to do anything to stand for the constitutional freedoms that are guaranteed to you by your Constitution, and when you try to now utilize your free speech to say anything, the narrative and the picture that's being painted that the president himself even helped facilitate was by calling patriots, condemning patriots. Now, I know he said he condemned the people who stormed the Capitol, but
those were his people.
And it exactly, and it perpetuates the narrative that the hardcore media is pressing about, aka patriots. Like,
what do they have on him?
We are fucking doomed. Pardon my mouth again.
So you guys don't believe that there was paid infiltrators there that started that off? No.
Can I just say one thing before you answer that? Right, before you answer that, if you look at it, the disinformation that's coming from the left regarding this way of trying to diminish what the Trump guys did on that day. I mean, let's get it straight. You can say Antifa were there, you can say this, that, and the other. They were Americans. They were Trump supporters. These were patriots that were willing to do what was necessary at the end of the day, to do what was needed to get to the next step. And the person that was there should have been there for the next step, let them all down.
Mm-hmm.
And that person
exactly
stepped up and said, "You know what? No, They're doing what they have to do, because if he was truly cheated out of the election, and he had proof, that everyone could see and everyone's seen, I don't see how this is now playing out.
But the trouble is, there is proof, Danny. There is fucking proof. We've seen the proof.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
No one's willing to listen to the proof.
Forget Antifa. There definitely some Antifa twats smashing windows and doing stuff. Definitely.
Yeah, we've seen that.
But the majority of a 14-year veteran that done multiple tours was shot in the neck. She wasn't Antifa. She was a patriot. And unfortunately, the chat should not be about Antifa. The chat should be about those patriots, what they tried to achieve, why more people weren't there, why it stopped. There's various things. I mean, at the end of the day, if that's all that's going to happen, then you've lost.
Exactly. And that's the point. I did a show on it right after, and I was like, we had it right in our grasp. Freedom was right there. All we had to do was stay in that Capitol, not leave, and tell them fuck off, get out of here. You know what I mean? But they didn't. They relinquished it. And I keep hearing, oh well, the National Guard was coming in. So what? Those are your brothers and sisters. The National Guard. You know what I mean? Like the National Guard's not going to come start firing on you. They're not.
Because no one was armed as well. No, there was no one.
Yeah, the National Guard wasn't even armed.
Pointing AKs or ARs or anything at anyone.
Yeah, unfortunately,
it was completely different. Yeah. But it was completely different. So there would have been no mass shootings. I mean, there was things that happened. I think the shooting was a panic. I reckon an officer genuinely thought Antifa type people are about to jump through this window and do something to us. Unfortunately, what they didn't realise was that it was a 12-year veteran that wasn't going to do anything to anyone.
Yeah. Well, like I said earlier, he should be hung on the Capitol steps for all of us to watch. Just like we had to watch the execution of Ashley Babbitt, we should be able to watch his execution. Public execution is what he should get. That's what he deserves. That cop shot at that woman, unarmed.
Unarmed woman, yeah.
Unarmed woman shot her
through the window. She wasn't even through the window.
She was standing in the window frame.
Yeah,
and he shot her.
There was plenty of police behind. There was police behind her with guns. She wasn't causing any problems to them.
Yeah,
so
I saw that.
Yeah, exactly.
And they were waving. They were waving. The coppers going, "Cease fire! Like, stop firing! What are you doing? We're here." He could have shot. Listen, that bullet could have ricocheted on the door frame and hit a police officer behind him. So you know what I mean,
it's too bad it hit her and didn't miss and hit one of them. To be honest with you.
Yeah. And it's basically how you even seen it on media, on mainstream media. It's been totally whitewashed. If that had been a Black Lives Matter protester shot dead like that in front of everybody,
well, what's happening? If you look at America right now, what's happening? They know they've got a little pawn, because Trump for the last since Antifa and then the BM and all that stuff started. Everything's been about these domestic terrorists, which they are. These are, the Antifa, with the way they behave, what they do is definitely under the category. And what they're trying to now do, they're trying to use this point of liberty for the American people to feel like they've done something to fight against what's happened to them. They're now using this to call everyone extremists, and they're going to start locking these people up big time.
Well, Biden and Kamala both gave their comments on the storming of the Capitol, and they were very specific about what they labeled as domestic terrorism. He said those were not protesters; those were domestic terrorists. And then he makes the stark contrast just to make sure everyone knows that BLM could not ever be affiliated with domestic terrorists, when he says in the same breath, basically, I bet if those were BLM protesters, they would have been treated differently and had tear gas and flashbangs shot at them. So he was signaling to the American people who the domestic terrorist would be. And when you're picked up on those charges, when they are utilizing the Patriot Act, you don't get your Miranda rights anymore. And you don't get.
Sorry, I had to do
it. Whitewash. That sounds racist. Yeah, you're 100% right though. I mean, unfortunately, that. But see, what he's not talking about is those protesters, those patriots out there, they were maced, they were punched, kicked, assaulted.
Yeah.
One guy got punched. I got the video of it. One guy got punched right off of the third story. He was climbing the steps.
Yeah, you see him drop.
You see him fall. He's one of the guys that died. And a cop punched him in his face when he was climbing up there, and he fell off and died.
Oh, he died. I saw that video. Did he die?
Yeah, that's one of the four. That's one of the other people that died from a
I watched
medical emergency.
They put him down as medical emergency.
Proper pushed him. Wow, he proper pushed him.
Oh, he punched him. He punched him.
He punched him.
Yeah, he punched him right in the face.
Climbing up, and he hits him and falls down, doesn't he?
Yeah. So, when's the last time that a BLM protester was punched off of a third-story balcony and died? So shut up, Joe.
Exactly. Carrying on from that, Joe saying, "Oh, Black Lives Matter would have been treated differently." They would have probably been given the fucking building. They would have probably been with someone else.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Now.
They would have let them have it, and they would have burned it down and destroyed it like they do everything else.
Yeah.
But what did we do? We made a little mess with some papers. We took some selfies in some seats in the house. Some asshole stole the pedestal or whatever, her podium. Good. She doesn't deserve a podium. That drunk, toothless, wig-wearing slob. God. Oh, did you guys? Has anybody heard that Tim Pool report? The Washington Post put out an article today stating that Nancy Pelosi tried a military coup on the president. Tim Pool just ran a story about it a little while ago, and I watched it. It was incredible. She actually told the military, "Do not listen to President Trump about anything until he's out of office." And they literally said, "Ma'am, we can't do that. That would be a military coup."
She contacted the Pentagon, didn't she?
Yeah, she reached out to the Pentagon. She should be in jail right now. She should be in jail. Nancy Pelosi should be in jail for that.
Why isn't that happening? Why isn't she in jail for that?
There's the big question right there in a nutshell. Because for 4 years at least, I know, I've been waiting for anyone, to start going to jail, right?
Nobody's doing
and none of them have. None of them. Okay, not the Clintons who promulgated Uranium One. Okay, selling off 20% of our uranium. Okay, to foreign entities, right? Not Eric Holder, Fast and Furious.
Yep.
Not Obama, Spygate. Not anybody involved with that. Not Comey, the homie. All right, that manipulated the FBI. All right, as a part of that coup against an incoming president. Right? Not the Bidens, who we've seen nothing but clear status proof were paid off by the Ukraine, took millions and millions of dollars from foreign entities, including the CCP, China, right? Not counting how many other people, Swalwell, that was sleeping with a Chinese spy.
Yep.
Nothing is happening. Nothing. And all I've heard is, "Oh, they're going down. Oh, they're going down. Oh, they're going down." Well, you know what? I used to be UDT, and I could hold my breath pretty damn well underwater. But nobody can hold their breath that long waiting for something to happen. And this is another part of the fuel that has fired people up. Because you know what, Bill? I go back to what you said earlier. And you, Jeremy, on the Q thing. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Yeah, I followed Q. I read. I watched. I'm not gonna lie to you, because I think at the end of the day, we all are looking for something that might be positive, something that gives us a hope to move forward, right? And just like you, all these little things that were dripped and dragged, what has come of any of it?
Nothing.
Nothing. But now here we are, right? Here we are. What did it do? I think, and again, I look for a positive in all things. I hope that if nothing else, the disappointment from lack of action has fired enough people up. And then mix that with what we witnessed on the 6th, okay? And the atrocities and dispersions, the patriots, people that flew from all over the 50 states to be in Washington, to support their president. Millions of people that traveled there. And you know what, guys? Yeah, look, I do think there was bad actors, infiltrators that may have riled up the emotions, okay, to start the onslaught into the Capitol. But, Jeremy, you're absolutely dead on when you say nobody capitalized on it. Why didn't they hold their ground? You're absolutely right.
They weren't
There's
ready to
not
take
a
that next step.
military entity that is going to fire on unarmed civilians. It's not going to happen. Not on this day, not any day, especially on our homeland. So
It would have required
what did you
their
really have to be
commander in
scared
chief.
of? People yelling at you from a loudspeaker? What? You had nothing to be scared of. Nothing to be scared of. You had it all right there and then you gave it back.
You had him on the run.
Okay, it was a nice little show, but here you go. We give it all back to you. And look what happened that night.
Well, they needed their commander in chief, and he wasn't there for them. At this point, and even Amanda Chase, the senator of Virginia herself, said, I said, what do you think his next play is if this does not go through? If through the next step in the constitutional process and Vice President Pence doesn't do the right thing, and the legislators don't do the right thing, based on the supposed evidence that they have that he's concretely telling his people about, correct? And she said the Insurrection Act. So yes, the people took the Capitol, and what they needed was the leader that they did not have. I hate to be that guy, but I just
had Trump let everyone down, situation would have been different.
As soon as we understand that we, the people, don't have that leader, and those people who are hypnotized can separate themselves. Now, let's give this the benefit of the doubt, and everybody can be really fucking pissed off at me, and it will be great. If, you know, we've got only until the 20th, like what, 13 days, something like that. And, you know, everyone's saying, well, he didn't say that he officially conceded to the Biden administration. So he's saying there's going to be a smooth transition to the next administration. And there's so many people who still are holding on to this last thread of hope. Well, let me be wrong, please. But if not, and everyone's questioning why did people give up the ground that these people had taken, the point, the reason is they did not have their leader. In fact, their leader came out and condemned them, condemned the
act. Yeah.
Well, no, the definition of condemn is to find guilty. That's such an insult. So people, what we need to do, it's up to us, we the people, right? So everything else is just a shell. At this point, it seems that the supposed greatest president that we've ever had in American history also happened to be the president on his watch that our republic died. That's a huge deal. And we need to kind of look at that. I mean, how long can we argue that Trump was a legitimate leader if he rolled over?
Put me in the driver's seat. Put me in Donald Trump's seat, and I'm telling you exactly what I would have done. I would have gotten right out in front with my Secret Service team around me, and I would have marched in front of those people up to the Capitol. I would have led them, because that's what a leader does. A leader leads from in front. A leader doesn't lead from behind. A leader doesn't lead from a stage and then say, hey, go guys, go do this. He leads from up front. And so Trump should have been, listen, nobody leave yet. I'm going to put my motorcade out front. We're going to the Capitol. Let's go let them know how we feel. Follow behind me. And let's go do this. That's what he should have done. And I guarantee you things would have turned out differently had that happened. I guarantee you.
You're dead on point right there. There's nothing more to be said to that. You said it beautifully. Absolutely beautifully, brother. And Bill, you know, there's going to be people that don't like your point of view. I don't like it because I'm an optimist, okay? I'm going to tell you straight up. I'm always looking for hope. I'm always looking for the peaceful answer. Let's be completely honest here, right? Knowing what I know, seeing the things I've seen in my life, the last thing I want is what I know is coming. But I know it's coming.
Yes,
I just got to make that peace within myself. You know what I mean? because
Yeah,
it's coming. But
It's
you
coming.
guys are right. You're absolutely right. Nobody wants to see that side of things. We all would love nothing more than the peaceful solution. You know, peaceful being a few people go to jail, our Constitution is restored lawfully through the Supreme Court, right? That things are upheld the way they're meant to be, and all these insurgents and evil people are put where they belong, you know, in a 6x6 for the rest of their lives. That's what we would like. That's not happening. It hasn't happened. So now it comes to that question that Zach has been asking since the beginning of our show. What do we do? Well, I go to what I asked on the last show. What are we all prepared to do? I know what I'm prepared for.
Well, I've made my choice. I've made my choice.
You guys made your choices. I know it by what you go through day in, day out, and how upended your lives have become because of the choice you made. Okay? But you have stood by your choice. What are the rest of the people prepared
That's my choice right
do?
there. I live by that every day. You know what I mean? Like,
damn right.
You're right. I made that choice and I solidified it. Never will I ever relinquish my thoughts. I won't be bullied out of my thoughts. I won't be bullied out of my beliefs, no matter what they do. They can put me in an atonement camp or whatever they decide to do. They can try. Let's put it that way. If they get me there, if they get me there alive, you know what I mean? Like, because that's the point we're at right now. And unfortunately, what we have to do as a nation, as a movement, and as a people right now, we can't sit back and wait for them to, we can't be sitting back on the defense, just everybody hiding in their houses, waiting for them to come get you. We can't do that. We've got to organize. We've got to get together. You know what I mean? We've got to create networks because they're coming. I'm telling you, the dark winter that Joe Biden spoke of is not for his people. It's for Trump's people. It's for us conservatives and libertarians that voted that way and voted against him. That's who the dark winter. That's who he was talking about when he said it would be a dark winter. It's about us. What's that, Jack?
I'm saying clearly the dark winter has already begun.
Yeah, started last night.
I think the dark winter begun a while ago. This has been going on for some time now. And going back to what Ralph just said there, I said it on the other show we was on together the other day. Look at World War II. You had ordinary people doing extraordinary things, but it takes them to be backed into that corner, to be put in that position where there's nothing else to lose, that ordinary people will do extraordinary things. And I think so many people are not feeling like that just now. We're feeling like that.
It's actually
because we're seeing it all. Sorry,
people back then, Zach, they didn't need to be backed in a corner. They were claiming over each other to fight for their country.
This is what I'm saying. It was literally a fight for your country, wasn't it?
Back then, they were pretending they were older to fight. Now, they're more likely to pretend they're younger so they don't have to fight.
Yeah. But this is what I'm saying. The normal person that's out there, they believe in the same things as us. They think the same way as us. But they're not feeling they're put in that position where they have to go out and do anything about it. They're willing to just carry on with their fucking lives.
They're scared. They're not going to come out of the comfort zones. They don't want to lose the Wi-Fi. They don't want to lose the
so maybe that's the message. Maybe that's the message, gentlemen. That's the message for people, okay? You guys, me, we all know. We're already against the wall. We're there, okay?
Yeah.
Everything that we can possibly lose is going to be lost. It's going to be gone, right? We know that, and that is why we sit here discussing this situation and recognizing what's coming, right?
Yeah.
Maybe that's the message for other people to realize. You've already lost it. You just haven't figured it out yet.
They
You've lost it all already.
Yeah.
There is no other wall for your back to go against. You're at it. You're at the wall. Now what do? Do you sit there and let them take you down? Or are you going to fight forward and get off that wall so you can start taking care of business?
That's where we're at.
That's the way you got to look at it. All right? And that's the other thing I think that too many people don't think of, right? I'll use a simple word, tactics, right? And let's just think about two boxers in a ring, okay? When one guy is in the corner up against the ropes, what's the likelihood that he's going to get the knockout punch in that position? Very unlikely, right?
Yep.
Much greater chance he's going to take a beating while he's in that corner. So what does he got to do? He's got to get himself out of the corner so he can move around the ring, right? And take advantage of his opponent. Well, that's the same thing right here. You've got an enemy that is coming for all of us. They're coming for all of us.
Yeah.
And the really sad reality is once the enemy's done with us, the ones that haven't woken up yet and still think that they're going along with the herd, guess what? They're coming for you too. Because there's nobody they're not going to mess with, right? Nobody. So what are you going to do? Are you going to sit there and wait until you're in that corner against the ropes and you can't get the shots you need to take? Or are you going to move now and get yourself into a place, mentally, physically, spiritually, get yourself to a place where you can be the most effective?
You got to move.
So when Trump is out of office on the 20th, then that will be the time that we all have we'll be able to recognize if we have a leader or not, and all the potential things that he could do, should have done, whatever, all the theories where they think that he hasn't relinquished power because he didn't legitimately lose it, which would be the proper reason to not relinquish power. All of that goes out the window at the 20th. And at that point, we can determine whether we have a leader or not. And if we don't, that's healthy in the sense that this movement that is real, if our leader turns out not to be real, realizes that we are on our own, that's when we can start weighing the balances on how we go about the next step. I've made my choice. I choose to stand with the Constitution. I choose to stand with the inalienable rights that my Creator and God gave me. And I choose to breathe free air and speak words with this free air. So I know that is making me an enemy to the state, and I have no fear. My fear is not based on the flesh alone. I don't believe life ends at flesh. So I know that I'm going to stand up for my principles. I'm a man of principle. I'm not threatening to go on the attack. I'm not threatening to do anything even outside of what our legal system allows. But I know what the Constitution allows. And I know that my president, to this point, he has till the 20th to do it, has not supported the values of the allowances that the Constitution gives me. I'm not in this thing to stand for a man or a party. It's never been about right wing versus left wing. It's about what is constitutionally correct. That's what I stand for. Yeah. I'll stand on that. But if we determine that we have no leader and we have no representation from either party, the cat's out of the bag. Where do we go from there? I don't know. But I know that I've made my choice.
Well, I think we need to not wait till that time for everybody to start feeling, oh, crud, what are we going to do now? I think the answers to that, what are we going to do, should be in hand and started to be worked upon before that date. That's my personal feeling, because at the end of the day, and you said it right there, Bill, just by mentioning the Constitution, okay? The masters of our nation is the people. Period, plain and simple. Now, you say about waiting for a leader. I don't know who the leader is. Does it really matter? I think it's someone that's got enough guts to make the call and go forward, right? To me, that's a leader. Whether they're right or wrong, they make a call and they say, all right, this is the direction we're going. Let's give it a shot. That's what a leader does, right? and they stay with that decision and that direction no matter what, period. Okay? Bringing people with it. So, in that, I think the gathering of like-minded individuals that have the courage and fortitude to stand by their principles and beliefs, that recognize what's going to happen and can come up with a plan in order to push forward and do something to stop what is coming. I think that is what we work on. That is what we act upon. That is what we engage in. The sooner the better.
Yeah. And you've got to pick up the fallen soldiers as well, because a lot of people are feeling demoralised now, and this is the problem as well. You get demoralisation coming, and it just fucks morale just drops. You got to pick your heads up. You got to keep pushing forward no matter what.
What was I saying to you, Zach, last night? Zach, you were in total panic all night, thinking that would be on, just because they removed people. They've done us a massive favour by getting rid of Trump off there, because everybody they hide everybody off there, and now they're coming to listen to us.
Yeah, well, that's it. Yeah, they are moving over, but
quote
it's
unquote,
whether our platforms can stay open for us. If they, like what Parler said last night, the statement they put out, if they take our servers, it's game over.
Get the Telegram. Everybody get the fuck onto Telegram. Groups, secret groups, end-to-end encryption. He's not going to change any of that. Get on there. Regroup.
Yeah,
it's pretty sad that today's day and age that we got to go hide behind secure servers because of a government that's become too tyrannical. And so that kind of reminds me of something that Thomas Jefferson said. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their creator with certain inalienable rights, that amongst these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their powers, their just powers, from the consent of the governed, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter and abolish it and institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. It is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. I want everyone to really think about what that means and what that says. They have become so destructive.
It's quite obvious what it says. It just depends if people are going to do it. So Nobel Beer 2024, that's what I'm shouting.
Let me see. In 2024, I'll just be old enough, because you got to be 45 or you got to be 35 to run for president. I was contemplating running for office in some form this last time, but I was like, it's not the right time. But one other time than now, if we don't throw them off, if we cannot organize and we cannot institute a new government, then the only other way to try to do it is to get in office somehow but unfortunately, in order to get in office these days, sounds like you have to be corrupted first before they'll allow you to be in office, so that they have something on you so they can control you. And that's exactly what happened. What do you think they have on Lindsey Graham? I guarantee you they've got pictures of Lindsey with other dudes, because we know he's a closet bisexual. He hasn't come out of the closet yet, not, at least that I know of publicly. He doesn't want that ruined, his reputation ruined, because he's a conservative, especially in South Carolina. You know who I'm saying for 2024? Matt Gaetz, 2024. Matt, we need you to run, brother. We need you to run for president. I would vote for Matt. I'd get a residence in every state to vote for Matt. Wait,
I'm expecting it to be General Flynn.
I would take. I don't know about Flynn yet. I don't know. It's been kind of. I'm not sure yet how comfortable I would be with him. I'd have to do some more research into him, because he's been tied in with, what's her name, Lindsay, or what's her name, Sidney Powell and Linwood and all them people. It makes me nervous, especially Linwood, who's seems to have lost his rocker. He's off his rocker. That guy, he's lost his mind. He's out there just posting all this wild, crazy nonsense, and I'm like, dude, come on, man. Like, we get it. You want notoriety. You already got your recent notoriety helping Kyle Rittenhouse out. You had that other major case, but stop with the crazy nonsense about all these Q conspiracies and stuff that he keeps throwing out there. So he's tied in with them guys. But Matt Gaetz, I'll tell you what, we ever get Matt Gaetz in the office of the presidency, our country would be set back correctly instantly. That is a man of principle. That is a constitutionalist through and through to the core. I absolutely love Matt Gaetz, and I would love to see him run. Loved him. Yeah. I don't know he could get the backing, but because the Republican Party, I don't think likes him very much. So.
Well, the Republican Party is just looking like the
Democratic
Party.
We do need a new party.
People have been talking about the Patriot Party, the Freedom Party. There's all types of stuff going around right now. What we really need to do is centralize, get everyone together. The Libertarian Party is not for everyone. What we need is we really do, because I think right now everything's so galvanized and everything is so, like you said, Ralph, the only time I've ever seen patriotism as high as it is right now in my lifetime is right after 9/11. Where you couldn't drive down the block without seeing an American flag outside a car or outside of a house or whatever. And, everyone was wearing their NYPD hats and their NYFD hats. And that's the only time I've ever seen patriotism like this. So right now we need to take advantage of that as a nation.
Momentum. You've got to keep the momentum going, because it would have started to die down. It was high until it was high from the Capitol building siege. But obviously Trump just killed that dead when he released his own speech.
Yeah, he crushed it.
You need to get back on. You need to keep that spinning, or they'll keep you down.
People are looking for a leader right now. People are looking for a leader. People are looking for someone who wants to step up and say, "This is our next move. This is what we need to do." And so we're looking for a leader right now. And who's that going to be?
We're looking for one to run in the platform of any political party. Is believing that we can implement any change through one of those parties, a change that's actually beneficial to the people. It's an extension of the machine. It is the root of the machine. It is the root of the illusion of the that between the left and the right is where we actually have choice, and we have an opportunity to get a representative of the folks. Like I don't know. I'm the doom and gloom dude here today. I don't believe it. I mean, it's crazy even talking about 9/11.
There's no political solution to this. You look what Gandhi said. If they're going to, if voting changed anything, they wouldn't let you do it. You know what I mean? There's no political solution to this, and that's why I believe when Trump came in, because he wasn't a career politician, because every career politician is just a snake, really, in a suit.
They really are. They really are.
When Trump came in, I thought this is where the change comes, and it seemed to be getting edgeways in different places. And then they just killed it off.
Well, and there's the problem, because he jumped into the machine, right? You just said it, Bill. The machine, and it's a self-sustaining machine. It feeds itself. It just keeps going, right? But he jumped into a part of the machine by jumping on the Republican Party. And he gave us all hope. He did. He really did. I'll tell you what. Up until the 6th, that guy was, Trump was doing okay. The problem is, I think we need to bring big hammers and break up the machine.
Yeah.
All right? The machine itself needs stop.
We have the same problem here in the UK. It's a two-party system here in the UK, and you cannot break into that because there's no proportional representation. It's impossible for another party to break into that.
Trump literally had everybody against him. If you just look at tiny little things, you look at things. Obviously, you had all the media gone against him across the full world. Negative. Social media, everything that you've seen about Trump, negative. Even simple things like if you watch Family Guy, which is a great show. Negative. He's portrayed negative on everything. Simpsons portrayed negative. Just on all these little things, keeps it in your mind.
Only at the point he became the president, though. Prior to that, he was never portrayed negative.
Oh no, he's great. He was on Home Alone. He was a nation's favorite. But once he became president, he was a quote unquote a racist and then a fucking sexual deviant and all this shit. But yeah, he didn't stand a chance.
Oh, well,
You're right. Nobody. He was an enemy because he was going to drain the swamp, and because the one good thing, like somebody asked me last night, do you think that we're in a better place than we were 4 years ago as a nation? And right now, it doesn't feel like it. Right now, it doesn't feel like it. Right now, it feels. I know a lot of us feel defeated. We feel like we lost. We feel like there's no
I'd say
hope.
you're in a better place, and a lot more have been exposed now to the public. Hell of a lot
That's
more.
it. That's what you have to think about. Like, you have to take the positives to this, because so many of us, including myself, yeah, I followed some politics and stuff before Trump, but he really opened a lot of people's eyes to what is happening. The government, and we all knew the government was dirty, but we didn't know to the extent. He exposed Nancy Pelosi for who she is, right? He triggered her to the point where, her inner skeleton came screaming out. He exposed Chuck Schumer. He exposed Maxine Waters and all these other career politicians who've done nothing but suck the lifeblood from this country for so long. And that is, so you have to take the positives from that he exposed all these people. Nancy Pelosi is a babbling, drunk idiot. If you ever listen to her try and speak live, she couldn't even get this, she can't even articulate a sentence like I'm doing right now. And I'm not even a professional public speaker. I'm not at all. But she could not even come to come close to me being, to the way I'm speaking. Not at all. It's always she's drunk all the time. She can barely keep her teeth in. She's losing her mind. It's obvious that he's triggered her. So he's exposed these types and this shit going on in our government right now. And frankly, I thank him for that. He did. Now he's got to look out for himself. And so while I don't agree with him abandoning us the way he did, not at all. And I severely dislike that move by him. Absolutely. He did do some good things for our country. He exposed us. He exposed this crap. He made the economy phenomenal for 3.5 years. Well, 3 years, until they came up with a pandemic to try and, kill that.
But let me ask you this.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, those things were exposed, and that's one of those situations where it seems like a clear-cut thing that is done in your favor, as to win you over from the integrity that you believe that move was made. But let me ask you this, objectively, how much of that was show? Why didn't anyone ever go to jail? Why didn't Hillary Clinton go to jail? She is a criminal multiple hundreds of times over, and it's a proven fact. Why do I feel like yes, and yes, the moves made with the economy that gave us the greatest economy that we've ever had in American history. He did most of that in the first year and a half, and then we could see the reaping of the benefits the last year and a half. But the reality is, there's been so many administrations before. And it's more than one man's decision. He has whole cabinets of professionals. It seems like maybe even that was done as a sham to get people to buy into something. I'm not even trying to speak from the conspiracy theory aspects. I do have my ideas, but since you mentioned the fact that he exposed a lot of things and that was good for the American people, well, why does it not seem to carry any weight when no one has actually went to prison and excessive crimes against our country have happened? I'm just not buying it.
Because it's what I see as it shows the level of corruption within
There
your
you
country.
go.
It shows the level of control that's in your country. Because even with the voter fraud, we've all seen it. We have seen the proof beyond proof. But even that wouldn't stand up. No one was willing to listen to it and take it on and do anything about it.
Do you know how simply that I think that there was obviously some sort of photo fraud or something's happened there. You cannot tell me that child sniffing fucking gibbering idiot is the most popular fucking candidate for president that's ever been.
No, he's the most popular by the computer standards.
Together. Oh, who are they trying to fool? He's like a fucking crazed old man just dragged onto the stage.
They don't need to fool us. They can just tell us this is the way it is and shut up. And apparently we're supposed to just shut up, sit down and take it. Well, guess what?
That's exactly what they are doing. That's exactly what they are doing.
And the Patriots at the Capitol said, no. We're not just going to sit down quietly and shut up. We're going to show you just a small sample portion of the power of the people. And that's why they did what they did. And that's why I'm so proud of them for doing what they did. And that's why I hate the fact that people are trying, these idiots are out there trying to give credit to Antifa for it. It wasn't Antifa. It wasn't. It was Patriots. And we were proud to do it. And every single one of them, I was in tears. I couldn't unfortunately be there because everyone knows, my situation. I was in tears. When sitting at home watching the live stream, I was in tears. My heart was filled with joy, and I was literally screaming at the top of my lungs about how about how proud I was of my country at that point. Like I said, "Oh my God, it's happening right in front of my eyes. We're going to do it," and then we gave it all back, and look where we're at now.
I just want to be clear. When he says when we stormed the Capitol, he doesn't mean Proud Boys. And I mean in
Americans.
Washington that day, and I was on Capitol Hill, and I was, observing all of the Patriots up on the stage that was built, and I was having a great time. I was sipping a Miller Lite. If they want to give me a ticket for that, I'll admit to that in a heartbeat. But we were drinking tequila and Miller Lite, standing under the statue with the horse, and some really close family came up, and it was a glorious thing. But I did not enter that Capitol building.
The Proud Boys did not storm the Capitol building. America stormed the Capitol building. We have been leading the charge for so long. The Proud Boys have been out front, have been the spearhead. This time we said, you know what? We're going to let America handle this. We're not going to make a spectacle of this and make this about us. We're going to make this about America. And so that's why, like, you didn't see our colors. You didn't see people out there. You didn't see Proud Boys out there per se. You saw Americans out there.
I don't care who it was.
Yeah,
I loved every second of it.
Me too, brother.
You took it right to their own fucking doorstep. And
to our doorstep. To our fucking doorstep. That's our house. We own that place. That's what these elites are not. That's what they're forgetting is we own that building. That is the people's building. It's not the senator's building. It's not the representatives' buildings. It's not Congress's building. It's our building. I own that just as much as anybody else in this country.
That happens in Africa. That happens in all countries. The elites believe that it belongs to them, but it doesn't. It's the people that own it. The people of the country that own it.
And in case they forgot, we let them know who owns that building, and we'll let them know again if they forget again. It looks like they already have. I was
going to say it's already looking like they already have. They're holding the people in contempt.
It's like that. It's like that. It's like that nerd that sits in his house and yells out his window at you. Ha! You can't get me. Right? He walks outside. You chase him back in the house, and then he starts talking shit again in the house. Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, we'll come back in that house. You keep playing games, and you keep threatening us, and you keep trying to shut us down. And all you're going to do is galvanize us and piss us off even more. So Patriots will come back if you don't straighten up and you don't remember who you work for. So if FBI, if you're watching it, you better remember who you work for because you work for us, the people. You don't work for those government officials up there who are all in their high and mighty places. You work for the people. And the people will remind you of that. Trust me, we will remind you whenever you need be reminded. And that's the end of my rant. I get a little worked up. I almost had an Alex Jones moment on my show the other day because I was just, I'm so passionate about this, and I'm so it's a fire from within. And I know, Bill, I know you feel that fire. Ralph, Zach, even though you're not even in this country, you still feel that fire because it affects you over there too.
It affects us, but we've had our moment with Brexit, and when we felt that Brexit was being taken away from us, we haven't really got the Brexit that we wanted, but at least we got some form of it. But when we felt like we was having it taken away from us, we were prepared to storm the Houses of Parliament and to take over that building. People would have got shot. They would have opened fire on people, but we were prepared to do that.
Because they know that you don't have guns.
Thankfully, we haven't got fuck all. So thankfully, it didn't have to come to that, but people were prepared to do that.
Well, listen, fellas, I got somewhere I got to be tonight. So I hate to jump off early.
I did say an hour. We've done an hour and 20 already, so I think
Yeah.
we wrap it up there. And
Covered a
to
lot.
everyone watching, all I can do is apologise. I know it hasn't been one of our usual shows where it's always laughing, joking, and a lot of fun.
What are you doing, Zach? Are you wrapping up?
Things get serious, and it's not always going to go in our favour. So we have to talk about these things. It's just the way.
Yeah. I thought you were closing it.
Next show will be.
I'll play dancing monkey next time I come on, and we'll get people to laugh if that's what they need.
I'm just coming off to get a video that's going to be played in a minute when Katie Jane gets it.
What's that?
Oh,
mate?
I just got this sent to me too.
Professor Alfio D'Urso, lawyer of Via Vittorio Emanuele, Catania, do hereby provide the following affidavit of facts as conveyed in several meetings with the high-level Army Security Services official. Arturo Delia, former head of the IT department of Leonardo Espia, has been charged by the public prosecutor of Naples for technology, data manipulation, and implantation of viruses in the main computers of Leonardo Spa in December 2012. Under instruction and direction of U.S. persons working from the U.S. Embassy in Rome, undertook the operation to switch data from the U.S. election of 3rd November 2020 from significant margin of victory from Donald Trump to Joe Biden in a number of states where Joe Biden was losing the vote totals. Defendant states that he was working in Pescara facility of Leonardo Spa and utilized military-grade cyber warfare encryption capabilities to transmit switched votes via military satellite of Fushino Tower to Frankfurt, Germany. The defendant swears that the data in some cases may have been switched to represent more than total voters registered. The defendant states he is willing to testify to all individuals and entities involved in the switching of votes from Donald Trump to Joe Biden when he shall be in total protection from himself and his family. Defendant states he has secured in an undisclosed location the backup of the original data and data switched upon instruction to provide evidence at court in this matter. I hereby declare and swear the above states facts have been stated in my presence. Dated 6th November of January 2021 at Rome, Italy.
Wow.
Fucking hell.
So hopefully that's a little bit of hope there. That was a swear affidavit by Italian minister, I think.
But is it a bit of hope because we've seen solid evidence already? We've seen it.
Yeah, no, that's just the latest.
They hacked the machine live while a vote was going on.
Yeah, at the Georgia hearing. Yeah,
exactly. And that wasn't taken on board. It was like, what more do you need?
They're not going to relinquish this. They've got the House, they've got the Senate, they've got the presidency. They are not relinquishing it no matter what. The only way they're going to relinquish it is if we take it from them by force. Yeah. That's the only option to get this back. I'm telling you right now, because right now, as it sits, we will never have a red government again, unless it's a communist government. That's the only red government that's going to be here. So I'm going to go ahead and say better dead than red.
Yeah.
100%. Pretty much already red anyway. It's China now, isn't it?
If Trump rolled over, then he's not the man that we thought he was. He should be leading us through this. Otherwise, it just negates everything, other thing he's done as disingenuous. We got to remember he was a WWE actor. I'm sorry, I'm the doom and gloom guy today. I mean, this is on Trump.
No, that's what you have for. It's your opinion.
This is on this is on Trump. I love my country. I don't worship the man. I don't worship my country, but it's God and country, not Trump and country. And a lot of people, including a lot of people, it seems hypnotized. We've got to realize that this game this could be like the biggest play, Hegelian dialectic Marxist play ever, you know. with Trump.
We've still got 10 days left yet to see if anything does happen. I mean, I think it's highly unlikely, but we've still got 10 days to see if anything does happen. Let's just hope that something can happen. The evidence is there. We've all seen it. We've all just watched that. Other than that, it's down to the people to just fucking rise up and take what belongs to them.
As my sign off to this, I don't know what Trump's going to do or not do. What I do know is anyone that considers themselves a patriot to this country, and a patriot should be someone who loves and honors the gift that was given to us by our founding fathers called the United States Constitution, and all the inherent rights that were given to us thereby. To go back to Jeremy's reading of what was written, okay, and to understand this country is of the people, by the people, for the people. Every part of it is about us. Yes, we, the United States citizens, have the right to abolish, reform, and rebuild whatever we deem as appropriate to what? The sanctity of our safety, well-being, and freedom. That is our right.
Yeah.
So, when's the time to stand? The time is now.
Yeah.
Not next week, not next month, not when you get done playing that Zelda game or whatever it is that's going on that computer game. Now's the time to stand. You can get back to the 2.2 lifestyle after we've got this straightened out.
Yeah.
Right now, you don't have a 2.2 lifestyle. You have an illusion, a lie. It's been very carefully fabricated and constructed for you to stay dormant. Stop it. Step out of it. We don't live in the twilight zone. And what we've witnessed in the last year alone is nothing short of a Rod Starling episode in all its glory. Okay? You couldn't believe it if you wanted to, right? That this is actually happening, but it is. It's our reality. So the time to stand is now. Now.
100%.
Take your piece, figure it out, and get in touch with who you need to get in touch with, be it the Proud Boys or some other local organization, because every one of these organizations, we need to come together and we need to figure out the plan to save our country.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen
We'll
to
be,
that,
watching
Ralph.
from across the pond. We'll be watching from across the pond, brothers, and wish you all the best.
Hey, we appreciate your support
You
over there,
too, bro. You too.
Appreciate it,
Definitely.
Jack.
I know we
Always
kicked your
good
ass
hearing
in
from you, brother.
1776, but you know, we still love you. You're still our brothers, even though we kicked your ass in 1776. You know what I'm saying?
I think about you guys particularly a lot. You guys, Jack, Zach. I think about you guys a lot. It's nice to have this network. Who knows how long we'll have it, but yeah, God bless you guys.
Well, we've excited numbers now, so no matter what.
Right.
And yeah, everyone, Parler and Telegram, move over to
Telegram,
Parler
yeah,
and Telegram
Telegram.
as fast as you can.
Telegram
The
is the
link
main.
to the IP
We're going
What's
to try
that,
and get
Jack?
rid of Parler. Telegram is the main connection.
Telegram is the major one, yeah.
Because you can,
They are trying to get rid of Parler, but if you can't get Parler now because you're on an Android device and it's removed from the App Store, the link to an APK is in the comment, in the description or in the comments below. I believe.
I also shared it on my Parlor page too, so you
Yeah,
can check out.
so
You can see my Parlor page
Yeah,
at Noble Beard.
if it's removed from your App Store, you can get it there and you can get straight on there. Let's hope they get them servers moved somewhere where they can keep them safe and it stays open for us.
And can I get my Parlor page?
Sorry?
Yeah, give your
My handle on Parlor is at Vigo Carpathian. Vigo Carpathian.
because you look. He's
Mine's
got that
just
pretty
yeah,
silver
so-
hair, just like the dude from Ghostbusters.
Yeah, so it's the nemesis from Ghostbusters 2.
The painting.
Like, I'm just the same universal. It's got that little fucking head in there, and it says at Jack Dawkins. I'm the same everywhere.
Yeah,
So-
we'll do. I'll follow everybody too. So
Yeah, I don't know what mine is. I think it's just at Zach Walton.
I tried to find yours earlier and I couldn't find it. So they may have taken yours down. And actually, one of my brothers in South Carolina, he ran our South Carolina Proud Boys page. His parlor page got deleted today.
Mine's on there. Mine's definitely on there because I've shared this.
Yeah, so they deleted the South Carolina Proud Boys parlor page today. He tried to log in and it said this page has been suspended or deleted. So unless somebody hacked it.
Telegram. Yep. Get the Telegram.
Yep, off of Parlor. Now, which kills me because I only have like 300 followers on Telegram, but I've got like 32,000 followers on Parlor. So I'm like, don't kill Parlor, man. But that's what they're trying to do.
Yeah,
just at Zach Walton. At Zach Walton.
In the last 24 hours, Paula was working itself, but today it's been perfect. So I think Paula will be all right.
It was when the influx came in when Trump signed up, and then he deleted his account like an hour later. So he's gone. He came on and then he's gone.
Has he?
I didn't even get a chance to see him. Didn't get a chance to see him. It was that quick.
Yeah.
Couldn't get on.
I think his advisors were like, listen, Parlor's for white supremacists. You can't go on there or something. You know what I mean? Something crazy like that. So, but listen, fellas, thank y'all so much for having me on again. I really appreciate it anytime. And sorry for the late entrance, but I got to be fashionably late. You know what I mean? I just have to.
God bless you guys. Good seeing you. Glad to see you're doing well, brother.
Yes, I am.
You're recovering well. God bless.
All right, Bertino, take it easy, man. Hey, when am I going to get my freaking Perry back, bro?
When I see you again, man. When I see you again,
I need that Perry, dog.
I feel like I need to sing a song to you. When will I see you again, or something like that? You know,
bro.
What I mean?
Just ship it to me, and I'll cash app you to ship it to me, bro. I need it.
Why don't you just come down here and visit like you're supposed to, and then we're all good. We're only 2 hours away.
Let's
come
do
down.
that.
All righty.
Sorry, guys.
God bless.
Brilliant, guys. And like I say to everyone watching, next show, let's hope it's a lot more positive. Let's hope we've got something positive to speak about. We get back to doing what we usually do, which is having a fucking laugh.
No, well, it has to be spoken. It doesn't matter if it's fucking a laugh or serious. It's got to be talked about.
Of course, and that's what I mean. Sometimes you've just got to crack on with it. As much as it pisses people off, we just got to speak about it. Is what it is.
See you next time.
Anyway.